This lecture covers the two main types of cells. First, we have prokaryotic cells. This name comes from pro, meaning before, like the word prototype, that's like the first or the before version of an actual product, and karyo, which is referring to the nucleus or the kernel of a cell. So this means before the nucleus. Prokaryotic cells are found in bacteria organisms and these organisms called archaea. So both of those are single-celled organisms, and they are small. So prokaryotic cells are small, 1 to 5 micrometers. 1 micrometer is 1/1000th of a millimeter, which if you did that in inches is 0.00004 inches, so quite small. Their genome is not enclosed in a membrane. That's why it's before nucleus. They have a single chromosome, and they have very simple cells, so few to no membrane compartments in the cell. So they do have cell parts to them, and sometimes they're specialized, like there's certain bacteria that can detect the magnetic field of the Earth. There's other bacteria that have pigments in them. But they are relatively simple inside. The other type of cell is a eukaryotic cell. Eu means true, and again, karyo is referring to the nucleus. So in this case, we have a true nucleus. Eukaryotic organisms are fungi, animals, plants. There are seaweeds, there's little algae, there are parasites, there's all kinds of organisms in eukaryotes, but they all have a nucleus. They're larger, 10 to 100 micrometers. And this is the key feature, their genome is surrounded by a membrane. And that's what makes up the thing we call a nucleus. So their DNA is inside a membrane. And when you see pictures, usually you're just seeing like a cut open version of the membrane, but the membrane's actually a full sphere that has a hollow space inside full of some fluid. And then the genome, the DNA is inside of that. They have many chromosomes instead of just one like prokaryotes. And they have complex other membranes inside their cells. So they're folded, sometimes they're tubular, sometimes they're little sacs, sometimes they're much larger. These sacs can contain things, and so they're compartmentalized is what we call it, and they're complex. And this allows eukaryotic cells to perform a number of more specific jobs and to specialize in those jobs. We call these structures that are membrane enclosed organelles, which means like little organs. This doesn't mean that eukaryotic cells are more evolved than prokaryotic cells. There's really nothing that's more evolved than another type of anything else. They're just differently evolved. In fact, prokaryotic cells are more successful, arguably, than eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotes live in a wider variety of environments, more extreme environments. They've survived for a longer period of time. They've been around a longer period of time than eukaryotic cells. And remember, being simpler or more complex is not better or worse. It just allows the organisms to do different things and be successful in different ways. And those are the basic features of the two types of cells.